There is nothing um, righteous or unrighteous about having a gun. How you use that gun, and your mindset of why do you have it could be sinful. But if the government says, "Hey, we can't do that," or I'll even remove guns and talk about like certain medicines. There's certain things that are beneficial for us that the FDA is like, no, that we ain't putting this out there. And it's like, well, why we need that? That's gonna help people with certain sicknesses and stuff. And it's like, nope, can't use it. We can't use it here, but we can go over to Turkey and we can get it done over there, right? But we're submitting to the government here, right? The laws of the land, we can't have that, so we don't do it. But if you want to do it, okay, you can go over there. They allow it over in Turkey. There are certain surgeries that we can't get here in America, but they do them over there. NBA players do it all the time, right? There's a certain Achilles when you tear your Achilles. There is a certain surgery that they do in Turkey. Most athletes, when that happens to them, they go over there and they get the surgery done because they don't do it here in America for whatever reasons, I don't know. But it's kind of weird why they don't. It's not bringing any harm to anybody. I don't know why they don't do it, but you have the FDA and those people who are in charge of that, and they said no. And so, okay, I can't get it done here. Doctors can't perform it here, or they'll lose their license. I'm gonna go where they can, right? Where we can get it done. And so,
I mean,
that's not like, hey, I'm offending God if I go to Turkey and I get this surgery done on my leg that's gonna make
that's
it better.
a good question.
I think it's like it's all revolves around sin and righteous living, right? Are the government telling us, or those in authority telling us to sin against God? And I think when you start to break down what, like going back to like having a gun, did God tell you to carry a gun? It's not wrong for us to have guns, right? To defend ourselves. But if the government that God put in place says, hey, get rid of guns, is this a sin issue? Is this a thing where because I can't carry this gun, I can't worship God? Or is this a thing of like,
or you can't defend your family or be a steward of your family? Some people could say that.
Get rid of the gun and get a sword.
I mean, but
I'm just going back and forth with you.
But there is a tension because
it is going to be tension because I would ask the same questions. I'm not saying that asking those questions are wrong or that we just like blindly submit because these people told us to do it. But I always think about, does this stop me from serving God, or does this cause me to sin? And so if it's something that's saying you can't serve God or you're going to now be living in sin, I'm not going to do it.
I mean, but that's...
And then I'm going to just have to deal with the persecution because that's how my most persecution comes.
I think that's making it unnecessarily narrow because if you want to be real, if all authority is instituted by God, how did God institute authority in the Old Testament? Somebody would get anointed. A prophet would come by and he would like pour the oil over somebody's head. God would say, I choose him. Have everybody walk before me. I choose him.
That wasn't always. Remember, it was other countries outside of Israel.
I know. But in God's kingdom, or at least how God like established it. So like, is God's kingdom democratic? Should you even vote? If all authority is instituted by God anyway, and his purpose is going to come to pass, should you even vote? Should you even get a say in the matter? Like, I mean, like
those
that's
are
real.
questions that I had.
Like if your school, should you even vote for your school board? Should you even vote? And I'm like,
there's some people who have that when it comes to like talking about end times, right? Well, if this is gonna happen anyway, then what's the point of me voting, or what's the point of me paying attention? God's timing is God's timing. Why do I need to do anything? Right, when you talk about like the Antichrist coming and all those type of things.
Yeah, but that I push back on that. Like, yeah, the poor you'll always have with you. The next sentence was, and don't help them. It was like you're always going to have poor people among you. Help them. Mm-hmm. Like when you give your alms to the poor. Like things are going to happen in the last days. The love of many will wax cold. So don't love on them. No, love people, help the widow. Like do all these things. So I would say like vote, get involved in politics. I think that's why I'm like, that's why I mean I can say I don't know. Like if the There are governments that put restrictions on childbearing. Like you could only bear 2 children. And then the Bible says be
Was
fruitful.
that Asia?
Yeah, like
China?
or China, like be fruitful and multiply. That's why you had some or because of the way things operated in China at one point, it was like, man, if you got a girl, you would leave them to die. You know, and then like because they wanted male children to work. And then you had like Christian orphanages and missionaries who would like pop up and then take and rescue the girls and stuff like that. So I mean, it's like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.